I'm Dr. Katia Castillo and have been practicing OBGYN for 26 years. When my patients ask me whether they should get vaccinated against COVID, I tell them yes. Some patients have asked me about vaccine side effects. It's true that some people will have mild short-term side effects after getting vaccinated, like pain, redness, or swelling where you get the shot. Other people can sometimes have tiredness, headaches, muscle pains, chills, fever, or even nausea. These are normal signs that your body is building protection. I tell my patients to learn more at CDC.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. May the house of David be born again in this generation. And shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, who before losing their true heritage were known as and still are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the video that we just saw. But due to the nature of what it's talking about, I'm not going to be able to go into depth about the subject just because of the censorship that's going on right now, especially when it comes to this truth, right? But I'm just going to touch upon it lightly, right? And because we all know what this is, man. We all know that these are simply the tricks of the devil at work, man. But let's read this. This is Ecclesiasticus 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay? And you see, just as you heard these two doctors, right? And they more likely are doctors, right? They've been in it for over 20 years. I think the Eve here said 23 years. I think the Shesau here on the left said 26 years, right? But the point being is that they've sold out, right? They've sold out, and they no longer are practicing, true healthcare, man. They're simply just there for the paycheck. And how do you know this? Well, why would they be giving a false testimony, a false story about how they tell their patients the exact same thing, right? Well, it's because they want to appease their bosses, right? The people that they work for, the people who they are beholden to. And that whole system that these two devils are beholden to is the devil, man, right? The devil has put these women up to it, and just like in the Garden of Eden, where the serpent seduced Eve, that's exactly what's happening now, man. You have our women here, right, going along with these Edomites, man, pushing forward this agenda to basically jab up our people. And this right here ultimately is going to lead to that MOB, right? And but we're not ignorant of what's going on, man. Because again, we understand that these are simply the marketing tactics and rhetoric that is getting pushed right now to get our people to fall for this lie, to fall for this deception, right? And our women are the prime, allies to the devil, man. Even back then, man, the devil has always used the woman as she is the weaker vessel, it tells you in the Bible, to come up against us, man. Right? This is why, man, a lot of you women are going to be put to death because you have gone against God directly and you have sided with the devil because you have not seen what's actually going on and you're just going about it so that way you don't mess up your good game here in Babylon the Great. But what does the Lord say about that? This is Isaiah 28 and 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. Right? And that's exactly what's going to happen to not only the women of our nation, but other people who have, sold out the population, who have sold out, themselves, so that way they can forward the agenda of these devils, right? Because the thing is right now, wickedness is at an all-time high, but that's it, man. After this, peak, it's going to plateau out, and wickedness is not going to grow anymore, man. It's going to be put out, and deception is going to be quenched, right? And again, we understand what's going on, man. We could see it plain as day, right? Especially when both these videos are playing, you can see that they're reading from a same robotic scriptic line, trying to pretend like it's their own words. But this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right? And what are those devices? Propaganda, media, using somewhat good-looking women that are, what appear to be well off, using the color schematics that they're using here, man, right? Putting makeup on these women so that way they look like they're well off. Man, you think these women go to work with their hair done well like this? The little things like that make you look at these women and make you want to hear what they're saying, right? But these are two devils, man, and this shit doesn't fly with us men here at Great Millstone because we're not falling for the devil's tricks, man. We can see right through this bullshit, man. And ultimately, man, the rest of the world's going to see it once they have fallen away from the delusion that these devils are putting on the world. Because as it tells you here in Revelations 18 and 23, that they have put a delusion upon the whole earth. Right? Let's read it. This is Revelations 18 and 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of earth, for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. Right? And that's what's happening now, man. These devils that are in power right now, the so-called Caucasian race, who biblically are known as the Edomites, they are using all their witchcraft, from pharmaceutical to media, by casting lies, broadcasting as it's called today, to speech manipulations, to color theory, all these things, man, all these forms of witchcraft, suggestive, subliminal, liminal, everything, man. They are using the whole, their whole arsenal to influence people, to straight up bribery, man, trying to, buy people off with fucking donuts and cigarettes and joints and lottery tickets, man. These devils are doing everything in their power, pushing out all that witchcraft to deceive the entire world, man, into believing that this is the path, that this is the truth, right? But as the scripture says, man, that their lies will not stand, and ultimately those devils who are joined hand in hand with them, that includes the women of our nation, right? Especially you Eves, man, you Judite women out there, man, because again, there's been so many of you who have betrayed us and stuff like that, right? Now, at least Latinas or stuff are a little bit more loyal, but a lot of the Judite women out there, man, you are destroyed beyond belief, right? Because again, there's been no other group of women in the world who have said that they don't need their group of men, right? Who have come together with the government to basically put the men of their household out of the house, right? Who has the most single family, homes in society, man? It's you Eves, man. You single mothers out there. Because of that is ultimately going to come back and fall upon your head, man. Right? You think you're doing good by going out there, getting your careers, being that strong and independent woman, doing shit like this when you reach the heights, instead of bringing up your nation, you're basically destroying us. You got a lot to pay for, man. And the Lord, He's coming to cash that check, man. And you guys are going to be fucking out of luck. So I just wanted to touch upon that. I wanted to show you the latest trick that these devils are doing. So with all that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Papardash, double R's, my teachers, the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.